not attempt to adjust your programming. You are now listening to B-Movies and Beyond.
Are you adjusting our sets?
Oh, yeah. It's episode 313 of B-Movies and Beyond. I'm Peter.
I'm Ryan.
Hello.
Peter, you just blew my mind before we started recording. And then I'm watching this paint commercial and this girl on the TV looks like my sister. So all strange things going on this recording day of B-Movies Beyond.
Blew your mind because I thought Thrice was playing Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme song.
Dude, it blew my mind. I was like,
so cool.
What? And then I heard it. It's like, oh, yeah. I can.
Maybe
that
when
can
we
happen.
Maybe when we see them in concert, we can just start yelling, "Play Mighty Morphin Power Rangers!
Play
for the
Power
encore."
Rangers!" Yes. They would be so confused.
They would be.
Like,
these guys that always yell, "Play Thrice"? Now there's Power Rangers. And they're at Thrice.
And they're at Thrice. But we got to do it after someone goes, "Play Deadbolt." And we got to say, "No, play Power Rangers."
That's right.
That whole crowd would go, "Oh, yeah."
They would all, yes, they would all. And then we would start doing like fight dancing, you know?
Mosh pitting.
Mosh pitting, fight dancing.
Mosh pitting, fight dancing, ska dancing. I like it. Yeah, all the above.
Yeah, all of it.
Our mid to late 30s asses doing that. Jesus.
Yeah. We'll sit down after a minute or so.
Break time.
Yeah. How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. It's been a wild couple 2 weeks, and you as well. And we have some events coming up this upcoming weekend, so it's going to be good to see you for some birthdays.
Yeah.
March is that month in Colorado where it just kind of teases you. Like it's like, I'm gonna snow, and then it's like, nah, never mind. I'm gonna be 60 degrees. Yeah, never mind.
And then, or it is like 60 degrees, and then it snows.
Yeah.
So
I just feel it on my loins that there's gonna be a 80-degree day, and then the next day it's gonna be like freezing, and hell's gonna pass over, and we're gonna have 19 feet of snow.
Yeah, we've been there before. Do you remember that one year, man? Like during I think high school when we had spring break.
Yep.
Massive snowstorm right at the end. We got another spring break. We got 2 weeks off.
We got 2 weeks off. Yeah. One was snowboarding off your roof into giant mounds of snow. And the other one was there's a little bit of snow.
Yeah. It was okay. You could go outside with a light jacket.
Yeah. And we live in Colorado, so we do it anyway.
That's true. That's true.
How about you, Peter? You've been traveling, doing some stuff?
Oh, yeah. Did some traveling for work. Busy just getting ready. Dad's flying in for Ellie's birthday.
Nice.
For Ellie's birthday. Yeah. So.
The last time we saw each other was St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah, that was a good time.
That was a great time. Yeah, we had a good time. We did play Thrice. Had a lot of green beers. I had an upset stomach. I think green beers just make me have an upset stomach.
I don't know what they do, but I agree with you. I was kind of didn't feel too great the next morning. It wasn't terrible. It's not the worst, but
and it wasn't like a hangover, but it was like a green beer.
Yeah,
sickness. Yeah,
it's a green over. I don't know.
Green over.
Yeah, green over.
Well, we're past the green over. Peter, how about we get into our podcast episode? What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
What? How? Why? I have so many questions!
Yeah, since we, I'm just going to throw this out there since we should have had an episode release yesterday, which would have been the 27th. So I'm going to release this one tomorrow.
Ooh.
So
We get a special
yeah.
episode.
Yeah, it is gonna be a special episode, midweek special episode because we were multiple days late and didn't record last week. So
Are we going to double up and record episode 2.0 tonight, or
oh no,
maybe on Saturday? No, never mind. We don't need to do that again.
no, that's a little too much. I do want to do that again, but probably not for my daughter's birthday.
How about since your daughter's birthday is more in the day, and then you can have Peter's birthday, and that's when you do it.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know how. I don't think my dad would really want to participate in that. So, but
that's the other question.
Yeah, that's all right. All right, let's get into our question.
All right, Peter, and this is because we have so much news. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of news. We have an update about the Spawn movie, right?
Yes.
And good old Todd McFarlane fashion. The update is that there is no update.
Wait, haven't we had this? Dude, he's done this multiple times.
That's why I say it's good old fashioned Todd McFarlane. Like, hey, what's going on with Spawn? And like he gives this most roundabout answer about why nothing has happened. Yeah. So he's here again. His big reveal is it's becoming a bigger budget movie with more A-list talent. However, he's already done this, and I think he's just basically saying we need more money.
So he's written his script multiple times. He's like, I can't do this. I gotta have a big budget.
What's Ant-Man's budget? I need that one.
Probably more. He needs. What's the Avengers budget? That's the one I need.
That's the one. What do you need so much money for, Todd? Have you seen Spawn's cape? It takes up blocks. Okay, yes.
It's a lot of CGI right there.
There's a lot, and we need one guy dedicated to cape fabric. Okay, but my question is, how long is too long before a movie announcement loses hype? This movie was announced in 2015. Jamie Foxx was tied to it in 2018, and now we're in 2023. With no movie.
Well, I'll be honest, where I'm to the point where I just don't think it's coming out.
I agree with you.
Yeah, like, so everything that's been said, and I know like these things, like some of these movies can take forever. They get in development hell, you know. But this one's like exceptionally like rough, and I think it's partly just because of Todd McFarlane, because he's been putting out so much shit out there about what he's doing that he's the only one that can direct it. He's writing it, like everyone else will blow it, and it's all on him. So this is like, you know, it's like what's the guy that did the Game of Thrones? George R.R. Martin. Like he's like, I don't think he's ever gonna finish. He's gonna die before he finishes the books.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, so this is just Todd. Like, I think it is like his passion project, but you know, I think it's because he can't have it his way. I feel like it's never gonna come out.
So Todd, go to Burger King and just have it your way, and then just make your movie. Like let someone make your movie. Okay. Spawn it's been 7 years. Let's base it off of Spawn. 5 out of 7 perfect score kind of thing.
7 years since the
announcement.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Not the original Spawn.
Yeah.
That's been 30 years. No, was it 93 or 96? Somewhere around
I'll
there.
look that up. Yeah.
Okay. For me, Peter, I'm at that point. I think 7 years is where I lose my hype. I think once you get past that 5 to 6, I'm still a little interested in it, but I think 7 years, all you're just feeding me is a bunch of bullshit, especially with nothing to show for it whatsoever.
Wow. So the original Spawn movie came out in 97. You're right. 7 years. That's a long time. I think I'm gonna cap it at 2 years.
2 years.
I think I go to like, hey, 2 years, because usually like a movie comes out, if it does really well, it's gonna get a sequel, and then go, and within 2 years, they're at least in production.
So, see, that's interesting you say it that way because a movie like Spawn is a reboot. If Spawn does well, a sequel will come out within 3 years, and they'll continue doing the same thing. I was just looking. Okay, so let's put this in comparison over here. 2000. Okay, 2004. I'm gonna go off this baseline. Ghostbusters 3 was talked about, right? Now I'm talking Ghostbusters because that's your favorite, one of your favorite franchises, and you waited a very long time for a true for Afterlife. I don't know, would you call it a reboot or a third?
It's a third. It's
Okay,
continuation.
continuation. So, in terms of Ghostbusters, like '04, 2011, 2013, and then when it became developed as Ghostbusters Afterlife was 2019. So
Well, but
19,
so you gotta keep in mind though, like, all right, so 2004 they make an announcement they're trying to do Ghostbusters 3, right?
right?
Then they went it got stuck in development hell, basically. And then they made the game, which basically was Ghostbusters 3, with a
Mhm.
little bit of sorry, I'm trying to figure out when that came out. When did that Ghostbusters game come out?
2009.
2009. Okay. So like that's kind of what happened with that, where like they took a lot of the aspects that I heard that was supposed to be like in 3, took in some stuff that like they had kind of like in the original script and put it into a video game, which I mean, seriously, man, you play that game, it's like, oh yeah, this is like a straight up movie. I'm a part of this movie now, which was
Oh,
awesome.
it was a perfect video game sequel.
Yeah, and I think they got a lot of buzz then. So that was 2009, you said, and then you know, I think they tried to do something else, and that's when you got the female one. We're like, okay, and a lot of that is because think about it, like Harold Ramis and Bill Murray, they weren't playing nice, they weren't talking, they weren't good terms. He dies. What year did he die?
Oh, I just had it pulled up. It was a
Before 2016 with that, um, with the female one.
2014.
2014.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my guess is like during that whole time, probably from like 2009 on, they were like trying to get like another one kicked off again, and he dies. So then it goes to, okay, we still want to do something with Ghostbusters, and that's when you get the females one. They're like, all right, we're just at a reboot point. That doesn't work. That's when they go back and they go and make Afterlife, which, it took a little while. You got to get that bad taste out of your mouth. So,
But what the crazy thing, okay, development hell, um, mostly you got to have a director locked in, you got to have a story, and you got to have cast and capital. Because Afterlife that was made in 2019, COVID happened 21, 22. That gave a 4-year span, including a national, worldwide pandemic, to make this movie. When they started filming Afterlife, they wrapped up filming in 68 days. So,
Mhm.
like the I guess the point I'm saying is Spawn has been 7 years with nothing to show for it. Ghostbusters has been longer, but throughout that time there has been elements of progress for a sequel.
Yeah. Well, so they announced Ghostbusters Afterlife January of 2019. And we didn't get uh it until May of 2022.
Right.
And that's with a pandemic where basically a year was off.
Didn't they
So,
fit and like have it ready during the pandemic and then it was just released a year later so people would actually go watch it?
oh yeah, yeah, I think you're right. I think it was
Yeah.
supposed to come out in 2020,
Yeah.
right?
And it was
And then
pushed back.
yeah, or was it 2020, or maybe it was 2021 and it was pushed back. You're right, but okay, so look at that. Announced January 29th, 2019, and then because of a pandemic, that's why there was issues with it, but it was pretty much done and ready to go for 2020. So like that's what I'm saying. Like the 2-year mark is like perfect unless there's a pandemic in there, and then it goes a little bit longer.
Okay, Todd, you get a slight pass because of a pandemic.
You gotta
But
subtract 2 years, but now he's at 5 years now.
you have 2 more years, Todd. You have 2 more years, okay? In my mind.
Yeah.
You put him on a short leash, dude. You got 2 years. Even in well, are you including pandemics?
Well, that's like there's reasons when why something happens, and I have to like, okay, I know it's coming because all those movies we knew they were coming, right? Most of them were already finished or almost completely finished, like they were close and they had release dates. And I think that's the biggest thing. Oh, maybe that's it. Having an actual release date. I was just looking at Deadpool 3. That's supposed to come out until like November 2024. Like
Yeah.
now, and that makes sense, right? We're at that 2-year mark because this is the year they started doing announcements for it. They started building up this hype with Hugh Jackman and everything. Like they must be going into production pretty soon, I would say. Maybe summer this year or something like that, so that it's ready by November of next year.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Ghostbusters, you could film in geez, there's movies that can film in 2 weeks, and there's movies that could film in 2 months. And then after that, it's all post and CGI.
yeah, and I'm super confused because aren't we supposed to get a sequel to Ghostbusters this year?
Yeah, I think so, dude. That's the other thing I was looking up. I was like, aren't they going to pump out another Ghostbusters sequel like ASAP?
Yeah, like I saw that there's supposed to be released for this end of this
December
year.
20th, 2023.
I know. That's nuts. And they're currently in production. So that is a quick turnaround. And I'm going to I hope it happens. I also hope it's really good. I'm always concerned about those. Sometimes with those quick turnarounds, it's not good. So we will have to see. But I'm just excited they're in production. Do you have any Ghostbusters news?
No, just that there's a new one coming in 2023.
Oh, thanks, Ryan. Well, let me tell you about the Ghostbusters news because I know about that. Like that was, oh man. Well, so they announced they kind of released a description of what the movie is. I'm going to get into it right now.
Do you want to do news before trailers?
Sure, hit the drop.
We got to reverse that somehow, make it sound not demonic, and then have it be breaking news.
Yeah. Ooh, that'd be fun. Yeah, so they released kind of the synopsis of what the movie's about. And it says it's a continuation of the Spangler family. They're in New York, yet they're filming in London. So it seems like they really built like the whole like firehouse and everything there.
Oh, cool.
Ernie Hudson, like just like that tease at the end of Afterlife, is like he's like kind of building the franchise up. And yet there's a new team. So kind of some weird elements in that. We know it's a continuation because the Spangler family's involved. But there's a new team, and so but all the cast, like everyone that was like in Afterlife, is like coming back. So is this gonna be like, are we gonna have like 10 different Ghostbusters or something? They added Camille Nanjiani to the cast. Patton Oswalt, yeah, is added to the cast. Like I don't know. This is shaping up to be, I think, quite a sequel. And I hope they can pull it off.
I see Paul Rudd, Camille Nanji, Patton Oswalt, and this James McCaster guy being the core. And then this actress Emily Allen Lind from Gossip Girl, the babysitter. Ah, okay. She's in The Babysitter. Okay. Okay. So is it like it's a sequel continuation kind of thing? New team? How do you
Yeah.
feel about it, Peter? Let me ask you that.
Well, I mean, first off, I'm just excited they're working on it. If it actually comes out this December, that's even better. um, I like the new members. I don't know how much they're going to be involved. Like, I think that's the biggest thing is like, is this gonna be another passing of the torch? You know, I've heard talks that maybe they're gonna go into like this whole international area where they're building up like a franchise where there's Ghostbusters in New York, there's Ghostbusters in London. I think the only reason why they're getting that is because of the fact that they're filming in London. But dude, you could totally film a movie in London and make it look like New York, you know?
Yeah, John Wick.
So
Like there were scenes where I was like, "Geez, this actually looks like it's in Paris." Weird.
mhm. So I I guess I'm waiting to see. I mean, I have to, but I'm just excited that they're actually building it, like, or they're in production right now. That's the biggest thing. That's what you want to know because now you know it's gonna be made.
Dude,
So
holy shit! This just came out. This news,
yeah, it's very recent.
like while you were traveling. I like it.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, maybe that's where I was looking on Twitter or something when I was waiting for a flight. So um and then the working titles right now is Firehouse. Um Yeah, I just, I'm curious. I mean, like, who's gonna be putting on the proton pack now? And I heard like Dan Aykroyd's kind of like he almost sounds like he's gonna be like an oracle or from like Batman, right? He's gonna be like someone that just kind of helps from the sidelines and does like research and not so much like put on a proton pack, which I kind of like that. I like him just having interactions but not doing the action, you know?
I like that
So,
too.
yeah, it kind of reminds me of Ghostbusters Extreme. So, I don't know. I'm super excited. Same people that worked on Afterlife is working on this one, so I have very high hopes that they knock it out of the park. So,
Speaking about marketing and how they market movies, do you feel that DC and Warner Brothers basically told everybody to fuck off on Shazam and they're making this massive push for the Flash?
um,
Or is the Flash really this good? Because here's what just came out was Tom Cruise is loving the Flash and the movie's best marketing tool. So Tom Cruise, out of anybody in Hollywood, has requested to see the Flash with an early release to say something about it. Is this
yeah,
genuine Tom Cruise saying it, or is this like
uh,
Warner Brothers like, "Hey, bro, like, do us a solid"?
I I heard they were piece or picking apart that like tweet, that announcement, because the fact that like like apparently people like they're like, oh, it says that it was like delivered to his Beverly Hills residence, and he's like, dude, Tom Cruise sold his Beverly Hills mansion like a long time ago. He doesn't even live there anymore. So like they're saying like it's bullshit. Um, I stopped there because I'm just like, I don't care enough. I mean, you already knew. We talked about this with Shazam, is that they blew their load. They were doing everything possible to try to sell a ticket by putting all this shit into their trailers, giving away all their cameos, and now I just heard that they just released the alternate ending to this movie. Like, dude, they cared nothing. They're just like, whatever, let's just put out everything as much as possible, and hopefully that just gets a few more dollars for us. If we could break even, that's all they're hoping for.
Yeah, no joke.
So, and and it's just kind of sad. Like, I think there was so much stuff stacked against them. It didn't help with the whole Black Adam shit and Dwayne Johnson. Like, I don't want to do anything with Shazam. I'm fucking Black Adam, better version of Shazam. Like it's just I feel bad for him, and this. I mean, just because I feel bad doesn't mean I'm gonna go see it. I will wait until that shit is free, and then I will watch it
I'm
because
I'm trying to text our friend who has Plex to see if it's already on Plex. We'll find out soon.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if Warner Bros. Like, fuck it, just release it on YouTube.
Dude,
Like,
they did that. What did they do that with, Peter?
um,
Wasn't it Justice League?
did they really? I mean, I know they've said like some fuck it times, and like especially around the pandemic where they just kind of released it. But remember, they did all the Warner Brothers did all 2021. They released all their stuff on the HBO Max like same day.
It was Justice League, dude. Now that I'm thinking about it, because there was if you clicked on a certain show, it played Justice League, and it only happened for like it was something messed up with HBO Max's servers, and
Oh, I know
and
what
I
you're
was like,
talking
guys,
about.
turn it on right now.
The Zack
Justice League is
Snyder
on.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
they
did an early release of it on, well, supposedly it said accident, right?
right, and then they're like, I guess it comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
So
speaking of okay, so Tom Cruise is being a marketing tool bag. Ant-Man sucks because it's the first non-pandemic movie to lose money, and Jonathan Majors is choking bitches.
yeah.
And
I saw that. Which, okay, let's just really briefly, like, I heard a lot of different things about that because they're saying like, no, this like, it's almost kind of common for him, like he's not that great of a guy, like people that actually know him, which
he kind of
really,
seems like a dick, dude.
yeah, which like kind of it sucks, right? Which it makes me wonder, dude. Like Disney and Marvel have invested so much into this whole Kang dynasty, like, and yet they didn't really have an easy out with it because they're variants, right? They can have all these different, like, they can just call someone, hey, this is a Kang, but it's just another multiverse version of him, right?
Yeah.
So if this goes south and like his reputation's just done, dude, like they could easily replace him in the Marvel universe, which sucks because he pretty much just has, two appearances right now. But
Michael B. Jordan's like, damn it, guys, I can't fill in for Chadwick Boseman and Jonathan Majors.
yeah. I just, man, this is I just don't understand between like celebrities and like professional athletes, like why can't you keep your hands to yourself? Like what is it?
Very, very valid question, Peter. Very valid question, my friend.
Oh man.
Um, let's roll through a couple of these real quick. I'll sprinkle the Marvel news together. Um, Daredevil is going to be a violent superhero show, so don't worry.
I don't
Deadpool
believe it.
3 has Succession star Matthew McFadden. Have you watched Succession, by the way?
Not yet.
Um, he's he's going to be a great addition because he's kind of weird and he's like a cuck, but
He's a what?
he's a cuck.
A
Google it.
cuck?
Give it a Google.
Okay. A cuck.
A cuck.
How do you spell it? A cuck.
Cuck.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Cuck.
and
A weak or servile man.
that's him
He's
in
a cuck.
Succession. Yep.
Okay.
Captain America 4. This one's interesting because there is Betty Ross
Mhm.
is Liv.
Tyler.
I was gonna say Liv Morgan from wrestling, but Liv Tyler. So Thunderbolts is shaping up to be pretty good.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. They're just, it's. I just like that. Disney or Marvel hasn't just like, we know we kind of like scrapped that whole the Incredible Hulk, but they're like, we didn't really scrap it. We're pulling pieces from it, which makes me kind of question like what's happening with the Daredevil like Reborn is why aren't they bringing back like some of the key cast members from Daredevil from the Netflix show? Like they haven't made some of those announcements like Froggy and that chick and everything, but like they're bringing back a lot of the other cast members with no issues. Like it's just weird that they don't want to fully acknowledge everything. They just kind of slowly like, okay, now we'll bring this person back.
Maybe they don't have their contracts. Maybe they're like, wait a minute, you guys are making the show again and using our characters and our likeness, and you have this budget now? We want some of that.
Oh, so maybe they just don't want to pay them. They don't want to pay that Marvel money to the Netflix folks.
Well, especially since Ant-Man and Jonathan Majors has taken all of it.
Did they get paid a lot?
I'm just saying they lost a lot of money.
Oh, because of that. Okay,
Yeah.
I see. I thought, did they gonna break even?
Yeah, it's probably not as bad as like everybody's making it out to be. I mean, they probably did do okay. It was a fine movie, dude.
Yeah, that's like what I've heard from everyone. It's just, I think the issue was it just didn't. The initial people went out and saw it and didn't have a staying power. Like, it didn't have that aspect where everyone kept on coming back to see it over and over, like Avengers movies, man. Like so many of those tickets sold. It's people just going back again and again to watch that movie. Like it's not like new people. It's just the same people seeing it over and over again. Like that's the issue with this. Is like apparently, and I think another part of this is that there's a lot of people like me who are like, no, I'll just wait until it's on Disney Plus. I'm paying, $80 a year to watch that shit. So I'm going to wait till it comes out and free. I'm already giving money to Disney and Marvel. So they don't need any more.
I agree. Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat with you. Like, I don't go to movie theaters. I rarely go to movies to watch them multiple times. There was a few. I think I saw Spider-Man 2 or 3 times. But because of Disney Plus and their release cycle to my TV, I don't care to go to the movie theater and see it. I'll go for the experience, but that's it.
And you go though because like you'll go the first time where like we with certain friends, and then more friends will go, and you want to go and watch it with them. So for you, it's more the experience of hanging out with friends. So I get that too. I guess there's just not a lot. There's not a lot of friends going to go see Ant-Man over and over again, I guess.
And you know what, dude? I saw it in 3D, and this really just solidified. I'm never watching a 3D movie ever again. Real quick, I don't care about Jason Momoa. He keeps on saying that he's going to be back as Aquaman, but really, I just don't care. This one's interesting. Nicolas Cage has mixed feelings about Keanu Reeves after John Wick star hustled him in pool. Did Keanu Reeves get the upper hand on Nick Cage?
Sounds like it. It's also just the idea that they interacted and played pool together. Dude, they did our movie without us even knowing.
That's why I have this in news. I was like, wait a minute. This is the most Nicolas Cage and Keanu Reeves type of movie ever. I could sit for 2 hours watching them play pool and bickering at each other.
Oh yeah.
He came up to my house in his motorcycle, damn it, ads, and was making all these impossible shots, Cage said. So, dude, Keanu Reeves rolled up in his motorcycle, all badass style, and just schooled him at pool with impossible shots. Like, I need to see that footage somehow.
I know, like, where's the security footage? I mean, I just cannot believe this. Like, also, like, when did they like meet each other? Like, I have so many questions. Like,
okay, it was a Reddit AMA in support of Renfield. It doesn't say. Maybe it was
about Nicolas Cage talking about that.
Nicolas Cage responded in the AMA regarding it.
So somehow someone heard about this, and then he mentioned it. Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah. Oh my God, Peter, I have a read for you. This Reddit Ask Me Anything is Nicolas Cage responding to stories. So this must be a recent thing. So this leads me to Keanu Reeves played Dracula at some point, right?
No, he was in Bram Stoker's Dracula, but he was not
Constantine as well.
Yes.
Do we see a Dracula versus Dracula killer?
Dude, if he makes a cameo in Renfield as Constantine, That'd be awesome.
This is just exciting because it's our two favorite actors, and they need to do something together ASAP.
The fact that they're just talking, like they had to, like they gotta talk about, like, hey, like we should do something together, right? Like, I mean, you don't just go over to a person's house just and like, hey, I'm just gonna go shoot the shit with them. You know, you gotta be kind of friends, right?
Yeah.
This
So
is just blowing my mind because I just thought they had no connection at all. They don't know each other. They just kind of like do their own thing, and that's how they live life. And the fact that they know each other just makes me want to be like, what the fuck? Do something together.
hey, we got time. Here's the post right here. Actually, let me post it on our thing. This is the Ask Me Anything. There's the Nicholases, and let's see, 2 days ago. Oh man, this is a great one. And you know what my favorite thing about him is he does these Ask Me Anythings.
Yeah. I like Nicolas Cage is not on like any social media, but he'll go on there and let people ask him stuff. And I'm sure he has someone else just like type this out for me.
Yeah, I don't think he's sitting there just drinking scotch.
Yeah.
There we go. There it is, Peter. What's your favorite Keanu Reeves movie? I like the first John Wick. Speed as well from Holt. Nicolas Cage. Well, Keanu kicked my ass at billiards one night. He came up to my house on his motorcycle and was making these impossible shots. He said, I don't know if I could get this shot or this shot. He made every single shot. So I have mixed emotions about the skill that Keanu has because he completely dominated me at pool. I like some of the early stuff like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I thought he was great in River's Edge. He was just great in that movie. Yeah. Thanks, Nick Cage. Thank you.
That's awesome.
I like how it's just a story about them hanging out versus like his actual like catalog of work.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really like
he
him.
brought it back. He brought it back.
Oh man.
Jeez.
Peter, you ready for some trailers?
Yeah.
Here are some exciting coming attractions from
B-movies and beyond.
You know, I just since we were talking about Renfield, did you see the latest trailer for it? I didn't see it in the notes.
I did when I went to go watch John Wick.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude. So that the newest trailer, man, like I like the first trailer, but this one now I'm like even more so like holy shit, this looks so much fun. Like it makes me want to go to the movies.
You did it, Nick Cage.
Yeah, like I mean, between him being Dracula and just having a good time with it, also just Nicholas Holt, just him, his this Renfield and like him getting into this whole like fighting off people. And there's like one scene where like he's just like falling down from the sky and just waves to it's like Aquafina.
Yeah.
I know
She's
you don't
awkward.
like that, but yes, but like him just kind of like being awkward and waving to her, like it cracked me up. Like I from this trailer, I think I'm gonna love the tone of this film and just the jokes, like from going from this crazy action scenes to like just like the weird comical awkwardness, you know, like I'm super stoked for it. So if you haven't seen that new trailer, it's you need to check it out because that movie comes out
14th.
the 14th of April.
Yep.
Oh man, so cool.
You got a couple weeks and we go to the movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the list is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always. This is a one-off special from Netflix featuring the original Rangers in new format with the robotic Rita.
Okay. When I watched this, did it bring you back?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, are you sure?
I had to think about it because I was like, this is weird because it's new, but it did bring me back. Mostly when they showed the bad guys.
Yeah.
And when they showed Zordon's castle.
Yeah, like all that Alpha. But then like Rita and the whole the fact like, oh, she's a robot now. I'm like, that's cool. And then like the putties, are they just called putties? Putty?
The putty, yeah.
Yeah. Uh it just like I was watching that, I was like, I'm absolutely gonna watch this. Like I have never, I watched the original, I watched the movie, and then that's pretty much as far as I've got with like Power Rangers. And then because they started just like every single like year was like is a different one. And I just never, maybe I take an episode here and there just because I don't know. It was just on. But I never got invested like I did with the original and in the movie. I love the movie with Ivan Ooze. And so
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
now this one coming back with once and always, I know it's not everyone, but that's okay. Like people
okay.
can move on. I know there's a lot of shit going on with Amy Jo Johnson, like people like, why the fuck aren't you back in this? And then also why Tommy or Jason David Frank wasn't in it, which he was still alive. It's just those two people. They just got a lot of shit going on that wasn't Power Rangers and they also, at least for Amy Jo Johnson, she kind of like just basically said, it's none of your damn business. Maybe I didn't want to get back in the tights, like just shit like that, like, which is fine, Hey, you don't
Hey, you
have
know
to go
what,
back
Amy,
into it.
Amy Jo, like you kind of don't have to be a bitch about it. It's okay,
People were being big dicks to her first, so I'm okay with it. She's standing up for it. She's like, it doesn't matter why I'm not in it. I wish them well. I'd have no ill will towards them. It's just it didn't work out. So who cares?
Yeah.
So I wish she was in there because it would have completed it. Same thing with Jason. I wish he was in it too.
And the Red Ranger wasn't in it either.
I thought he was.
No, I think the second Red Ranger's in it.
Oh, the original didn't come back, really?
Yeah, and then the Yellow Ranger didn't come back.
Well, my understanding is that she dies.
Well, she died in real life.
Does she really?
Yeah, she died like in a car accident right around 9/11.
Oh wow, I had no idea that. That's rest in peace. Well, supposedly my understanding is that it says that Rita kills her off, and that's what brings the Power Rangers back.
Yes.
So I don't know. I if that's true or not, that's pretty crazy. That would explain her absence. But the fact that, I mean, did they really kill off characters in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers?
Dude, that was a surprising thing to me. Is like Rita straight up was like, I killed her. And no, they didn't kill off characters in there, dude.
Yeah, so this is gonna be a new tone with this, and I just thought I love they're keeping true to what it is with the campy putty people, the campy makeup and everything. Like I can't wait to watch it. I'll be honest. Like I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in too, man.
I won't watch any of the other shit because this is like what I grew up on, and that's why I'm in.
I agree. It is going to be sad to see like the full cast isn't there. I agree with you on that, but they have moved on. I'm curious how they're going to do the Zords and the big monsters because um, I thought about that recently. I was like, we have enough technology where we can make those look really cool now instead of them just being people in suits.
Yeah, but they shouldn't though.
That's the other thing they shouldn't too. Yeah.
We've seen it. They already tried to remake the Power Rangers. We saw what that could be. Like, no. Like, and that's what I think they're staying true to what it is. Like they're having fun with it. And I for one, I can't wait to see it. So
yeah, you're gonna have the second Pink Ranger, the second Red Ranger, the original Blue Ranger, the original Black Ranger, the original voices for Alpha and Rita. Ooh, the second
nice.
Black Ranger and the second Yellow Ranger is gonna be in it.
Why'd you say ooh? Why are you so excited about that?
Because ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh. You know what I would like?
What's that?
Let's redo the show. Pass the
Oh wait.
torch. pass the torch. Give me original Angel Grove. Give me Zordon's Castle. Give me Rita, the same campiness. Give me a dude in a Zord suit, and do it with passing the torch of the original Rangers to their children and or nieces or nephews.
Yeah.
That'd be
Dude,
fun.
this is saying this is a series.
Uh-oh. What are we confused on now?
Oh, but maybe it's only like 2 episodes long, so it's just like, okay, I'm fine with that. Never mind. All right. So it's like a series. It's coming out April 19th, so there we go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm good with it. I'm so good. I just thought, like, dude, is this going to be like a, 10 episode arc or something? Maybe I'm not as on board, but like 2 episodes, that's perfect. So
Next one, Peter. This one snuck up. This was released today. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. An actual trailer with a little bit of the story and what's going on. You saw more of Spider-Man 2099. You get a little bit more of the plot, what's going on. The bad guy was Spot, I think was his name.
did you see Spot?
No, they showed that weird, like, glitchy looking guy.
Oh, maybe that's him. Yeah, like there was a reference quickly about just using portals, right? Which I think that was in reference to Spot.
They did say Spot.
Didn't they? Okay.
They said his
Man,
name, yeah.
I need to watch it again. What I got was just, dude, it's gonna be so cool watching all these different variants of Spider-Man fighting Spider-Man. Like, it looks badass. Like, that aspect alone, dude, like, as much fun as it was like to watch like Spider-Man Homecoming, and
Mm-hmm.
see like all the the few different live action Spider-Mans come together, like this is gonna have so much more, and it looks amazing. And you even get, again, why are these trailers giving away some cameo information? I know there was rumors about this, but like you just straight up like, yeah, you guys are right. Tom Holland's in it, at least in a cameo form, at least. It's just,
It's
why?
yeah. A little too much there. It was when they showed him, it was kind of funny. It looked very live action, but it still looked animated. I wonder how they're
Yeah,
gonna.
it was interesting blend.
We got more of the cast on here. Jake Johnson is back as Spider B Parker.
But you see him wearing like a kid thing. Did you notice like there was like, it looked like there was a kid, you strap your
kid
kid
carrier.
on. Yeah, kid carrier. Thanks. I
Oh,
should
I
know what
need to go
that's
back
called.
and watch that again.
Yeah. So
Kid,
I
yeah.
kind of like that. It seems like he's moved on and has found some happiness and has a kid. So
Daniel
that's cool.
Kaluuya, the guy from Nope, or not Nope. One of those movies. He might be in Nope.
Okay.
He's in it. The big one for me is Jason Schwartzman and Oscar Isaac.
Well, dude, we already knew Oscar Isaac. He's the 2099.
Well, I know that, but Jason Schwartzman, those are big names. And then
Yeah, that's new. I didn't know about that. So that's
and then
cool.
who else is Jorma Taccone is the Vulture. Jorma's from Lonely Island.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think that's how you say his name. Peter, did you watch the other two?
Well, yes. I watched The Black Demon, which that's a shark movie.
That's why I picked it.
I'm on board. It's a shark movie.
It has a story, dude. It has like a pretty
rig.
like
Yeah. It so it threw me off a little bit at first because I had to read some subtitles because it's Spanish. And I was like, oh man, what is this? And then they went away from that and went to English. I'm like, oh cool, I'm back. and then they go to this rig and then they start going to like a Mexican lore about a demon shark, which is really kind of cool. Saying like, this creature is here to bring balance to nature. That's kind of what I got, right? Is that what you
dude,
got?
this seems like one of the most cohesive like shark movies out there.
Which, yeah, because it leads you're at a shark movie, yet there's a supernatural aspect to it, so you could do a lot of cool shit with it. Like, and
And it's
the
in
CGI actually looks decent.
yeah, it's weird. It's like they put time and effort into this. And what's weird is they have a Mexican lore backstory. And I'm not gonna lie, when I saw this trailer, when they started speaking Spanish, I was like, Peter's not gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Peter's not gonna watch it. But then it went back, and I was like, okay, Peter's back.
Yeah.
So you get a little mixed languages. You get a demon CGI shark. I like it, dude. I'm into this. Wow, Peter. We did an hour of just news and trailers.
It's a lot.
Yeah. We might have to break this episode up into some short segments, but upcoming is our reviews.
Reviews. You want to take it away?
Peter. Yeah. I saw John Wick 4.
Yeah, I that's why I said you want to take it away, because I saw the notes.
Okay, dude, I hated John Wick 3. Can I be honest with you? I thought the movie was terrible. I lost interest in it. It was they made him too much like a superhero. They added characters. I was like, no.
So I thought in 3, even a little bit in 2, the world was getting very big and a little bit like, I just felt like they just kept on shoehorning new rules into it, right? Like, and that was kind of my issue, where I was like, how far are you gonna go with this? Like, how many new rules are you gonna add to this series just to keep this to keep it going on? Like it was really cool how the second one ended, where like basically he has a contract out for his life. You're like, that was super exciting. And then they gotta come up with a rule to make it so that you could get out of that, and people leave him alone. So I don't know. That was my issues with the sequels to John Wick. The fighting, no matter what, I think is always awesome. It's just amazing action scenes. It's just the world that they're building. It to me, it got a little bit silly. But go ahead.
All of that is still very true. I went into this and it started off with him gunfighting on horseback, and I was like, this movie's gonna suck. And that scene was quickly done, and then you find out like John Wick's like, the whole point is he's just really trying to end it. Everybody's after his head. There's a bounty that's still just climbing up, and that's where Bill Skarsgård comes in. He's like, he brings Donnie Yen to take him out. Donnie Yen was in the third one as well, right? No, he's new to this one.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of new people in this one.
Yeah, I'm mistaken. I thought Donnie Yen was in the second one. Donnie Yen is a great addition to this series. He's a blind martial artist, assassin, and he kicks some ass. So everything about this movie is what you expect. But what I really liked about this John Wick is the cinematography was just beautiful, dude. That is one thing that's the series does the best. They go to Japan, or they go to Osaka, and they go to the hotel there. I'm not going to tell you what happens between all the different hotels, but when they're in Japan and they meet with the Japanese, what are they called again, Peter? The concierge, or not the concierge, the oh my gosh, what's his name? The manager. There's a manager. I need to speak to the manager. When you meet the manager there, and just how they do battle throughout Japan, and that scene, it's just one of the most beautiful scenes in movies. It's worth it to go watch it in the movie theater. And then as the story progresses, they go to Paris. And this movie's about like the locations, like where they're going worldwide with John Wick and these locations, and how do I tell this without telling the story?
They kind of did that in the third one too. They really they branched out to a much the larger world in the third one, I felt like.
Yeah, and you said something that this one was funny. So they kept on adding rules, but then they were the old rules. And like for John Wick, here's the thing: this series could play out as one of the best video games out there.
Yeah.
Just because you could just rewrite rules and there's superhuman but not superhuman abilities throughout all these assassins, and each assassin is like a boss assassin that John Wick needs to pass through is like more and more ridiculous, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this movie's long. This movie's almost, I think it's almost 3 hours long, dude. I've never had to pee so bad in a movie like this. And I'm like, bro, it's a John Wick movie. Like, it should have been done like 2 hours ago, you know? But they just keep on telling this story and 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 if you read a couple of these reviews, the best elements about the Dark Knight trilogy is what we were talking about, how like the assassins are the ones that he needs to get to, and when he gets to the boss level, kind of like the Joker and what Bill Skarsgård is, they don't have the fighting ability, so he has to get through all the fighting ability to get to a main boss, and then it's a different task for John Wick to get past. Um, and then this one has a really good ending. Um, excuse me, I don't want to say too much about it, but for me, it left a sense of closure, but an opportunity for John Wick spin-offs and to revisit this. And even the director is like, we're not done with Keanu Reeves. If it's not John Wick, we're not done with him. And this style is of movie we're gonna be working together.
So so it sounds like they kind of put like a into it, unlike the second one where that straight up was not an ending. Even the third one
Yes.
was not an ending. Where like, oh, okay, like there's issues that need to be solved. This one doesn't leave on that type of cliffhanger.
This
Sounds
one
like.
doesn't leave on that type of cliffhanger. No.
Okay, good. I'm
Uh,
glad because I was curious because I was wondering like because I feel like it could just go on and on and on. And it seems like it's ended enough, but it's still, like you said, it could spin off to other things, which is kind of cool.
what I like about so I've done a little bit of research. The director is Chad Stahelski.
Mm-hmm.
He was a stuntman, and this is why these action scenes are the best. He's a stuntman. He was Brandon Lee's stuntman in The Crow and filled in for him when he died.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so a lot of this pioneered CGI technology for deceased actors to complete projects and whatnot. So he was a part of that, and he was also Keanu Reeves' stunt double in The Matrix.
Yeah, I think I knew about that part of it. That he was a stunt double, and I think didn't he also like work as like this, like the action sequence type guy? The choreograph shit that they do.
Yeah, he did. He has a good repertoire. He was The Matrix. He was in The Wild Wild West. He was Keanu Reeves' stunt double in The Replacements. Like, what the fuck does he need to for in football? You know,
Throwing that football.
uh, he was a fight coordinator in Van
That's
Helsing.
it. That's
Yep.
what I was trying to say. The fight coordinator.
Constantine, fight coordinator.
Yeah.
He was Johnny Knoxville's stunt double as well.
Nice.
But he's been working with Keanu Reeves. X-Men Origins Wolverine. He's the action coordinator.
Mhm.
This is a guy that has basically pioneered. Oh, dude, he was he was the action coordinator for Dread, the
Nice.
Wolverine,
Yeah.
47 Ronin. Like,
Yeah. He's done some good stuff.
yeah, he's done some good stuff. I could go down a list and list and list, but um, he has a big future behind him, dude. He's done John Wick 1, 2, 3. He was a producer of Day Shift, which we both liked.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing this up and coming one called Ballerina, which I think should be pretty good. So um, go watch John Wick 4. If you're going to see the series tie up, I would say I think you'll be surprised and satisfied all at the same time.
Yeah. I'm excited. I just watched like John Wick just over the weekend because I'm like, all right, I got to get ready for it, and I need to watch the other two before I go see the fourth one. But yeah, I'm they're fun movies, even though they get a little bit ridiculous. And I'm excited to see that, like, it seems like they've actually, the fourth one, it's actually improved from some of those sequels. So I'm
Yes.
excited about that. So cool. I watched Kick-Ass 2.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's fair to say this is not as good as the first one. Do you
Okay.
remember, when was the last time you watched Kick-Ass 2?
Maybe in 2020.
Okay.
I remember that vividly. I was like, I gotta catch up on these.
Yeah. Oh, that was like the first time you watched it?
No, that was the last time I watched it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's been a while since I watched Kick-Ass 2. I think I watched Kick-Ass maybe last year. And so this is what I watched on one of my flights, was Kick-Ass 2. And I remember like thinking like, okay, it's not as good as the first one, which is still true. But it's still a lot of fun. And I loved how they continued this universe where, and you can see it play out. So the first one, right, there was no superheroes, and there was just basically gangsters, right? They're the villains. And then you see, I guess you would say the first mainstream superhero is Kick-Ass, because he goes viral, right? And that's when you learn about Hit Girl and Big Daddy and everything, and they're kind of like doing shit behind the scenes, and no one really knew about them, just doing vigilante shit. So Kick-Ass 2 picks up after all the events of the first one, obviously, but now it's made it so, like, being a superhero and kind of just excuse me, going out on the streets and just kind of helping people has become mainstream now. So like now there's all these different people just like saying, hey, I want to help out people, so I'm gonna make a superhero personality and go out there and fight crime, basically. And some of it is just serving soup to the homeless. It's doing stuff like that, just helping others.
Oh yeah.
Which was kind of like a really cool thing to see. Is just like, okay, I feel like this is how normal people would be superheroes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't have to go out there and have to like fight off the all the bad guys, right? And go to the extremes and have like aliens, fight aliens and shit. Like, no, this is just going out there. People are maybe doing some not some okay stuff on the streets, and you go out and you kind of tell them no, and then also just help people that are in need. I like that aspect of it. So it follows that storyline where Aaron Taylor Johnson, he's kick ass, and he's like trying to get back into it because he
And
kind
he's
of
buffing this one versus the first one.
Yeah, he got more buff. So I would say that. Yeah. So he kind of like put down the mantle, and then he picked it back up because he got bored. Hit Girl was kind of training him. Hit Girl is living with the detective from the first one, Big Daddy's friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Living with him, basically it's doing superhero shit on the side, which she's not supposed to do. The detective finds out, makes her promise, like, hey, you need to stop doing this and just be a normal teenage girl. And so she does that and tries, like, there's like a subplot of this where she goes out and is just trying to be a normal girl in high school, which a lot of those girls are bitches. And then on top of it is what happens when you have all these superheroes now.
Super villains.
And so that's the other big aspect of this, is now we got a whole super villain club with Christopher Mintz.
What's his name? The Cocknobbler or something?
He's a motherfucker.
He's a motherfucker. That's right.
So he was Red Mist in the original one, right? Like, he was kind of like a good guy, but his dad was the main villain.
Right.
Kick-Ass kills him with a rocket launcher, and so he's so pissed off about that. He's like I want to be, I'm going to bring up the supervillains, and he kills his mom in the very beginning,
That's right.
and then he starts like, all right, I'm going to be the first supervillain. That's the whole purpose of him, and he just starts recruiting all these people to be other supervillains with him. And it's kind of the same thing with Kick-Ass. He wants to find his own group, a group of superheroes, and then obviously at the climax they all clash. If you remember, Jim Carrey's in this film.
I remember because it was Sandy Hook or something that happened, and he was like, we should no longer promote this kind of movie.
So in the wake of the Newtown elementary school shooting in 2012, Jim Carrey refused to take part in any promotion campaign for this film because he felt he could no longer support its violence content, which is really kind of interesting because he plays Colonel Stars and Stripes, and
Right.
I thought and the way they did his makeup I thought was really cool. Like you would almost,
He looked like a comic book character.
yeah, it looked cool. And apparently, dude, he even brought his own props for this movie to make it look like the comic book version of his character. Like he was really on board with this, and because of that shooting and everything, it made him change his tune, which I understand that. Like I get it, but then when I watched the movie, dude, like this movie has a message of saying that we can't do this.
Yeah.
It ends at the end of this movie. They straight up say like, this is the last time we're doing this. Like, we can't have superheroes and supervillains because it just leads to all this violence. And that was almost like a plot point throughout this whole film, was that like, okay, you start doing something you thought was going to be helpful, just like having guns out there, and it leads to violence. And so like, all right, we need to change the way that we're thinking about things and adjust how we're doing this so that violence doesn't lead to violence. And yes, it ends in one big violent fight, but at the same time, like, this is it. This is the fight to end all fights, where we need to drop this so that this violence doesn't continue. And when I see that, I'm like, dude, like, did Jim Carrey even realize like what he was doing and like what this was? Sure, there was violence in this film, but like the overall message I really felt was, about not having violence.
And the side that he was on in that movie, he was a hero. So he was very much promoting non-violent. Don't be violent. He was promoting. I mean, they were promoting being a good guy on his side.
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of the main guy of like the good guy team, until spoiler alert, he gets killed off.
You gotta wonder if he only read that part of the script.
I don't know. Maybe they kept it under secret, but like, and he didn't get to see it before all this, or maybe he just thought, no, it's just too violent, and he doesn't. Who cares what the message is? It's just too violent, because it is pretty violent. I think the original Kick-Ass is much more violent, though. And this one, on top of that, it was also very comical violence as well. So it had a whole different feel than the first one. But I just kind of like, when I think about the actual like moral of the story, I just kind of feel like, it was a little bit, to me, a little bit unjust by Jim Carrey, and I understand why he did. He's still speaking out on what he believes. And then I just think about like him doing like Sonic the Hedgehog and stuff. Like, dude, there's all kinds of violence, but it's more comical again, right? Like, what's the difference? Because it's comical violence that makes it okay. Like, to me, violence is violence. Like, I don't know.
You can argue that Kick-Ass's violence was very comical as well.
Yeah. So I don't know. That part just stood out to me, and the whole time when I was watching this, I kept on thinking about that aspect of it, and it made me look at these various storylines and the overall like message that they were trying to portray with this movie.
Dude, Kick-Ass 2 was, and then Dumb and Dumber 2, then a TV series, and then Sonic 1 and 2 were his last movies that he's made. Jim Carrey.
Oh wow.
So since he had a role in Anchorman and the Bad Batch. Okay, so never mind.
Okay.
He's had one,
yeah,
two,
he's
three,
he's
four,
done some
five,
stuff, but
6, 7.
he definitely took a step back. I mean, probably the Dumb and Dumber 2 was probably his last like big one, right?
Dude, I don't even remember that movie.
I don't think it was very good. That's why.
Wow. Peter, is this one that holds up?
I mean, yeah, I think so. I mean, again, it's not as good as the first one, but I think like looking at it and thinking about just where we are as a society, that's the part that like I think stands out to me now. And that's why I recommend that this movie, is because look at that. Think about how the world is and kind of put it into these characters and like, various countries fighting other countries and just how they, people just clash, and sometimes violence leads to violence, and then you gotta make decisions to get away from it. So I think that part of it changed my whole experience with this film. And it's still pretty funny,
I think it holds up. I don't think it was on the level of the first one. The first one
No.
is one where I can watch any single time that it's on. The second one, I'm like, yeah, if it's closer towards like the big battle, then I'm interested. But the meat and potatoes of it, I'm just kind of like, meh.
Yeah, this is the one. It's to me like it's just funny because I don't feel like it glorified violence though. Again, so and I'm curious if people disagree with me, like because yes, there is violence, but I don't think it glorified it.
Well, I don't think John Wick 4 glorified violence.
Wow.
No, I'm just joking.
I was gonna say, I was like, that's crazy. Yeah. So it's on Netflix right now. I think the first one is too. So I say have a watch. I think it's worth if you haven't seen it in a while, it's worth watching.
Wasn't there plans to make the third one?
I don't know, but it makes me want to watch or read the graphic novels of these, because I was reading some of the stuff that they left out, like for the motherfucker. Like, dude, like you're talking about violence, man. The shit that happened in the comic book is way worse than what they put in the movie. So, and the fact that like Jim Carrey was pulling from the comic books makes me believe that he read all that and was fine with the content.
Oh, the comics are super violent, bloody, aggressive, sexual. Like they're one of the more R-rated comic books to watch. Just looking this up as we're talking about this, Vaughn is Matthew Vaughn. Jeez, he's a producer of this one. Okay, but he was a director of the first one, right?
Yes.
Matthew Vaughn is my favorite director for X-Men, Kingsman, all that. So he started up his studio called Marv Studios, and that was announced in 2018, which he will produce a reboot of Kick-Ass. And on December 2021, Matthew Vaughn revealed that the reboot is in the works and will be out in 2 years. So it should be out this year.
They're rebooting Kick-Ass?
Yep, they're rebooting Kick-Ass.
You said as a film? Feature film?
Yep.
And
he says, I'm going to need one very, very brave actor or actress to play the new Kick-Ass.
That's interesting. I don't know. Dude, the first one's so good. You know what? I think they should make a series. That's what they should do.
This would be a good series. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
like The Boys.
Yep, exactly like The Boys. That's what I'm saying. I think that would be it'd be a fantastic series, and I guess we'll see if that announcement holds up.
Peter, it's about that time.
It is that time.
dessert.
Yes! Yes! Oh! 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 Oh, God. Oh.
I'll have what she's having.
That's right. What are you having, Ryan?
Did I recommend Succession the last time?
You've recommended a few episodes.
Okay, I'm going to recommend Yellow Jackets because I was told to watch Yellow Jackets.
Okay, those trailers look good. I
Yeah.
haven't watched it though.
So Yellow Jackets.
Nice. Man, I don't know if I have anything. You know what I started watching was Ancient Elvis.
Oh, that's out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it a good old college try.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Something out in the background. It's entertaining enough.
I was watching 47 Ronin the other night, and I was like, why am I watching this? This movie sucks.
That's Keanu Reeves. That's why.
Yeah, I think I'm getting to the point with Nick Cage where I'm like, all right, I've seen his collection, and now I need to move on to Keanu Reeves.
There you go.
Dude, you can watch the original Power Rangers on Netflix, like seasons 1 through 4.
They have all of them. So,
It's
but yeah.
reversioned.
Ooh, I don't know what that means.
They have season 1, 2, and 3, and then they have season 1 reversioned. What the fuck is reversion? I'm interested.
Well, you let me know.
I'm gonna watch that right now, actually.
There you go. All right. Thanks everyone for listening. Send your friends our direction. Let them know about the podcast. That helps us out. And subscribe to wherever you listen, because then you'll be notified right when we release an episode, because who knows when we'll put it out. So
yeah, that's the
what
best
you
way
need
to do it.
That's right. Help us out. Help yourself out. And we will catch you next time. Until then,
pew pew out,
pew
motherfuckers.
Be sure to visit bmoviesbeyond.com.